Yeah, we gonna get us some white girls tonight.
I don't know what that means. All right, go. Fucking thing sucks!
Y'all, dog, what's going on? Yeah, we gonna get us some white girls tonight.
Okay.
I think amongst themselves, I think with the presidential campaign, like I'm just sick and tired. Okay, to Stephanie's point, clearly it is not legal what they're doing, but we're at a disadvantage when our folks are playing by a different set of rules than they are. I just think at the end of the day, this is important. Again, this is not at the top of the reasons that we had a different outcome here, but to win close races, you kind of want to be maximizing every piece of the arsenal. And so I think this is something we really have to.
You gotta be maximizing every piece of the illegal election arsenal. Okay, what about the last election, dude?
Reflect on and make some adjustments going forward.
Okay, some regulations, including the fact that the candidate's campaign is not supposed to coordinate with the super PACs. That is illegal. The argument here is Trump is obviously coordinating with the super PACs. That is
Impact on the
illegal.
industry.
So let's skip forward
Our
a little
guest
bit.
is none other than
time because we came here for chunky yogurt, didn't we?
Big hater.
Didn't we?
But there's no denying that she has made a big impact.
More involved with super PACs, not less involved. Yeah, why don't you go parade around
Impact
your
on the
letter
industry.
about 90 corporate CEOs
Our guest
love
is
us.
none other than
Hey,
Indiana
African-Americans,
Froster
we're
in
with the
Black.
rich, we're with the executives, we're with the people that you despise.
Guest is none other than
They said, oh, okay, we're getting more moderate voters. Same thing.
None other than
Republicans in the suburbs. How'd that work out for you? Hillary Clinton got only 7 of them. Biden got 6%.
Indiana Froster in Black, a former pro player and coach.
Strategy. So I go, no, you're supposed to, all those are good Democratic consultants. These same morons were on the next campaign.
Our guest is none other than Indiana Froster in Black, a former pro player and coach in League of Legends and a well-known commentator in the Asian and European scene. You may be familiar with her relation to G4 TV, which was a long-dead gaming media brand that was revived by Comcast just 2 years ago. Indiana was chosen to be the face of their esports coverage in Coast and X Play. However, to put things succinctly, they things didn't go out quite as planned. And after the collapse of G4 TV, Indiana was the one blamed for the fallout.
It's really the
And
alliance
I have
here,
covered-
what really the American people want, and this is why you see even starting to kind of agree with some of Trump's policies and stuff, and it's not necessarily like conservative policies that they agree with, but it's this populist movement that is just spreading like a wildfire, the best wildfire ever in this nation. We're sick of the corporations, we're sick of the elitists, we're sick of the bureaucrats. Like the government's supposed to work for us, and what a joke that is. That entire idea, that notion of what the government is here for, given today's circumstances.
American people don't love corporate CEOs. They like the average guy. That's
Unblamed
complicated
for
for
the
you to
fallout.
figure out. You
And
idiots
I
couldn't
have
put
covered
two
that in my own
adults
recording,
together.
and I know many of you
Trump,
probably have an opinion on that topic
should
as well, but is that totally fair?
Never work in politics again.
Indiana really
You
has
know
never
how
had the chance to share her
losers
side of
like
the
this, They keep losing to Donald Trump. They told us he's the dumbest man in America. And then they lost to him twice. What does that make you?
It makes
None
them
other
dumb.
than Indiana
and
Froster
the
in
thing is,
Black,
they don't really
a
care
former pro player
about
and coach in
necessarily
League
winning,
of
because at
Legends.
the end of the day, they still get paid.
They're in
So
black.
it doesn't really matter to these campaign workers. But yeah, Donald Trump won. He made a
Fuck.
video, commented, or in charge for the algorithm.
On the
And I'll see you
industry.
guys in the next one.
Our guest is none other than Indiana Froster in Black, a former pro player and coach in League of Legends and a well-known
The
commentator
AAA
in the
gaming
Asian
industry in
Europe.
the West certainly is going through quite the odd time. Thanks to a lowering in standards for hiring practices and a tomfoolery of ESG investment scoring, we're left with a lot of very angry and
It seems
hateful individuals
you may
making
be
games
familiar
when
with
they don't
her
really
relation
seem to like the
to
customer base.
G4
Across
TV,
the board,
which was a
all the
long-dead
studios used to
gaming
run
media
Viacom
brand
have
that
been
was revived by
hijacked and recycled
Comcast
into vehicles
just
of
2 years
tandem
ago.
instead of
Indiana was
creativity.
chosen to be
The
the face
initial
of their
creators that we all
esports
love,
coverage and
from
host of
Neverwhere
Next
Nights
Play.
to Mass Effect
However,
to
to
anything in
put
between in the
things
West,
succinctly,
all gone and replaced with something more
things
hideous
didn't go
and
out
concerning
quite as
from a
planned.
mental health
And after the
standpoint.
collapse of
As the
G4
company
TV,
grows and eventually
Indiana
opens
was
itself
the
up
one
to
blamed
investors
for
who
the fallout.
utilize ESG as a
And
means to
I-
gauge success instead of the product itself, higher-ups chase short-term funding instead of long-term success, and people who don't even play games make choices. To get more customers, something has to be watered down to be less offensive, in turn pushing away the fan base who would have returned time and time again. Time is lost, boxes are checked, and people blame everyone but themselves. Despite all of this, despite companies embracing these initiatives and using government bodies around the world to push for them, despite them winning and getting their soapbox that people are practically forced to hear, they're still so angry.
The
How
one
can Matt
blamed for the
Henson
fallout.
come out with such an insincere line of thinking? He wanted to make someone mad with the game? The people who you want to make mad will not remain mad. They will move on because that is what a normal, healthy brain does. They may harbor disappointment, but if you think anyone is genuinely mad, Mr. Hanson, the only one left in anger is you. But Matt isn't the only one that we've seen like this. We have endless amounts of tweets where community managers hate gamers, where certain staff hate white men, where consultants hate this, hate that, and they claim that they're the ones with answers.
Blamed for the
But the
fallout.
only thing that makes them an expert is the fact that they're not white?
And I
I
have
don't understand that one. Hate drives these people.
one blamed
And I
for the
fear that
fallout.
it comes
And
from a
I
place
have
of
covered
trying
that.
to reject reality. That they boxed themselves up so tightly to be accepted by a tribe that they forgot that there is fun in creating an imagination. They got their jobs based on hate and needing more of something in office
And-
instead of being hired for their talent. They sell their game based on abject immutable traits. These are red flags not because of the concepts of diversity, but because they use this as a key selling point. Once they do that, they have to keep drawing attention to it. Dragon Age Veilguard is a perfect example of how a franchise was built on dark stories and war and pushing the idea of roleplay to now being something safe and whimsical, something easy, something that tells the player what to believe. From a company where you could make your
one
companions
blamed
so
for the fallout.
angry they try to kill
And
you,
I have
now
covered
you can't be mean at all.
for
Everything
TV,
is in
Indiana
agreement.
was
Everything
the
is
one
perfect
blamed
sounding
for the
and
fallout.
robotic. But
And
the anger
I have
continues
covered
to
that.
Ooh, you can't even
grow
notice
and grow.
that I took that
Is
out.
lack of success leading to more anger? Are they angry
Unblamed
that they
for
were
the
fed
fallout.
lies and now
And
continue to
I have
lash
covered
out?
that in my own
They
recording,
were told that
and
they
I
were
know
the
many of you
primary
probably have
voice,
an
but in
opinion on
truth
that
it was
topic
just
as
a
well,
house
but is
built
that
on
totally
sand.
fair?
And the slightest of shifts
India-
has caused it to collapse. They can hate,
Totally
they
fair.
can cry, but it won't change the quality of the work that they put out. And when they lash out publicly in today's age of information, the lack of emotional maturity will have real consequences. Something I don't think they've ever had to deal with. And this will only fuel more hate in them. A child can be taught not to lash
was
out,
the
and
one
their good
blamed for
behavior
the
would get
fallout.
rewarded and
And
reared.
I have
But
covered that
these
in my
people
own
are in their
recording,
20s,
and I know many
30s,
of you
and
probably
sometimes
have
even
a take on
40s.
that topic as well,
Never
but is
had
that
their
totally
good
fair?
behavior reared.
Indiana really has
And
never had the
those
chance
poor
to share her
behaviors
side of the story.
are
I
so
think
much more
part of that
difficult to
I'm sad to
unlearn
observe
now.
is
If
that
you've ever
people
tried
in
to
the
quit a bad
media
habit as
bother
an
to
adult,
ask.
you'll understand
So
it
I'm
can be
really grateful
difficult.
to Indiana,
These
who's agreed
people
to
just
come
want
with
the
us
instant
today. We're going to
gratification.
talk about her
Even if they
background.
do
She's
quit,
done some
it
really
won't ever
interesting
be
stuff I
enough,
think you guys
because it
will be
will
into.
always cycle
Talk
back
about
to hate
G4
for them,
TV.
a
And
problem
we'll go
who
from there.
apparently needs
Thank you to
solving.
Indiana for coming on the
There
show.
was never a lack of diversity in games. We had
Thank
games from studios around the world.
you to Indiana for
There was
coming on
never
the
a
show.
problem when a Chinese studio told Chinese stories, a Japanese studio telling Japanese stories. So why is it a problem in America? Why is there so much hatred around it from people who seemingly
Okay,
don't
so
have
sometimes
the skills to figure out what they're complaining about? They're not solving a problem. If anything, they've halted the industry. They've made it worse. If a director
so
for
sometimes I like to
Pokemon
do this with my
came out
guests
tomorrow
to start
saying
out.
that they built an
I call
entire
it, let's
system
read
around
their
something
wiki.
out of hate,
And I'll-
despite it being one of my favorite franchises,
I
that would
call
be
it,
so
let's
off-putting to
read their
read.
wiki.
It would stop being Pokemon and instead be a vehicle of hatred. All I could think about, even if I did try to play it, would be those words of hate.
Wiki.
Consumers don't want that. They don't want a
Wiki.
story or feature in a game born of childish
Wiki.
emotional lashings. It doesn't make
Their
any
wiki.
sense at all, especially if you're trying to be as inclusive
wiki.
as possible. Make what you're passionate about instead. Stop working in an industry that you hate because it will only grow that anger too. These people lash out and then play the victim. They're entitled to free speech, but
Wiki.
it doesn't release you
And I
from
will
the
pick
burden of
random segments from
consequence.
Wikipedia,
The companies
and
will
we will
bring
see
in
if they are
speakers
correct.
and
Do I
tell
actually
their
have a
staff your
Wikipedia? I know I
ideas
have-
deserve to be heard. You deserve to have a voice.
They are correct.
All your complaints are valid. No, that's not how life works. Not every idea is good, and not every person has a good voice, and not every complaint is valid.
Do I actually
If
have
you
a
say that you
Wikipedia? I
hate
know I have
white
a
men and that there's too
Wikipedia.
many in an industry,
You have
first off, why is that even a problem? And second, you know nothing about global demographics and live in a headline-obsessed bubble chasing down tribal markers so that people see you as virtuous, instead of you actually being virtuous. I don't remember Halo being made out of hate. I don't remember anyone on the Halo team saying they hated a
Thank you to
demographic.
Indiana for
They just
coming on
made
the
a
show.
game that they wanted to play,
thanks for
which is
having
how a
me.
lot of games were made.
Okay, so sometimes
Back
I
when
like
it
to
was
do this with my
actually a
guests.
challenge to make games,
start
and you
out,
had to get
I
hired by
call
a
it,
major
let's
company to
read
even
their
have any
wiki,
hope of learning
And I will pick random
tools that
segments
are
from
now
Wikipedia,
widely
and we will see if they
available.
are correct.
Nobody
Do
did
I actually
anything
have a
out of
Wikipedia?
hate.
I know I have a
It's easier
Wikipedia.
now than ever to
You
make
do
games.
have a Wikipedia.
But
It's not
these
very long.
people, through the
And
advances of
I'm pulling
technology,
from the.
they got their jobs without skills,
have a
and they
Wikipedia.
brought
It's not
their
very
hate
long, though.
with them. All they have are tears and HR threats.
And
These
I'm
consultant groups born from hate and negative emotion, instead of teaching groups of people to start new studios and tell new stories, demand access to existing
You do have a
studios.
Wikipedia. It's
And
not
if
very
they don't
long.
get it, they
And
label them
I'm pulling
names.
from the
They take advantage of
Wikipedia more
fears
so.
that know more.
That one's
I'll leave
got
you
more
with
interesting
what
stuff.
is my unfortunate but
Wikipedia
favorite
more
example
so.
right now. CD Projekt Red, makers of Cyberpunk 2077 and The Witcher, I believe
That
was
one's
bullied into
got more
becoming the monster that we see today. Back before CP77 dropped, an individual named Cypher on Twitter went on quite the tirade, calling them transphobic and racist. She said things no
it's not very
professional
long, though.
individual would ever say if they
I'm
intend to
pulling
work
from
with the
the
company. But
Wikipedia
within a
more
few
so.
months,
So that
she was
one's
given all
got
sorts
more
of
interesting
gifts,
stuff.
and the
Okay.
complaints stopped. Cypher has
Okay,
access to
is it
DEI
true
groups. One she
Your
started
favorite
herself,
game is Final
but
Fantasy
she was
VII.
also on the board of
That
several others. She didn't get gifted anything because of the size of her
Final
platform.
Fantasy
Sure,
VII.
she has followers, but she doesn't drive viewership or engagement herself. She's not capable of
That is
being
correct.
useful in a marketing
Excellent.
campaign. However,
That
she
is
is
correct.
connected to a web that controls so much right now, and I firmly believe CDPR only adopted all of the DEI
Is it
because
true?
they set up an American
Your
office,
favorite game is
they
Final
were
Fantasy
bullied
VII.
into it,
That
and
is
believe
correct.
it will lead them to
Excellent,
success.
excellent.
But
I
this
agree.
will not
I
happen.
agree. What do
One
you
of
think
her other
of the
staff told a
remake?
woman to stop complaining
really
and called her a clown for mentioning DEI.
What do you think
Why
of
didn't
the
she get
remake?
sent the free gifts? Or does it only work if you use the cancel words? How many more
I
people
really
do
enjoyed
this?
the remake. I
How many
did,
other companies have
spoilers,
been
of
bullied
course.
like this?
It
I'm
kind of lost
thankful that the
me
truth
as
can come
depicted
out,
the
but
ending,
we're
not
still
the
left with so many who
not
get
the
to where they are
context
through
of the
hate.
ending. It's hard
And
to
I
talk
think
about
that's
this
quite
without
sad.
spoilers.
There's
Yeah.
no
Not like
greater
the-
joy in my
the ending
opinion than
ending.
being part of creating. Be it words or art, something physical, something digital. Or if you want to get really
Not like
abstract,
the
life itself.
ending, but like
Thank you
God
all
damn
for
it.
listening today.
not
And
like
I hope
the
you enjoyed
the
my little ramble. I'm sorry that it hate, but in the end, love will win. I know that our
but
recent
like,
pushback is a
what it does this
movement
weird
built out
Kingdom
of
Hearts
love
thing,
and
you're like
not
running
hate.
through all these.
As
It
much
got a
as
bit
they want to
Kingdom Hearts
cry
for
and
me. I was like,
kick
I like
and
this
scream
whole
about it,
vibe that
it
they've
won't
got going
change the
with
fact
kind
that
of
the
like
average
meta fourth
consumer
wall
is
breaking.
done being
But I
preached
wasn't
to.
really about them like
I'm not standing
kind
here
of
for a
running
moral
around
authority.
abstract spaces.
Instead, it's actually
No, I
quite the
get.
opposite. I don't want to decide what should or shouldn't be allowed. I just want everyone to be able to create. And that is what the industry used to be, an open market of ideas. Limitless possibilities.
Not like the
What's
ending
important
ending,
now
but
more
like
than ever.
when it does this
Support the
weird
people
Kingdom
that you
Hearts
love
thing,
and
you're
make
like running
something
through all
yourself.
these. It
Have a
got a
good
bit
day,
Kingdom Hearts
everyone.
at the ending for me. I was like, I like this whole vibe that they've got going with kind of like
You know what
meta
time it is?
fourth wall
Go to
breaking.
jail.
But I wasn't really about them like kind of running around
Ready to go to
abstract
jail?
spaces.
Ridiculous.
No, I get. I was more tolerant of it just because I'm just so used
Hi
to the
everyone,
lore of
Donut
it.
here.
It's
Today
like
we're going to talk about some of the
I think like
absolutely
if you bring them on to
100%
head your
worst
project,
policing
that's just
I've
what
seen
you're
in
gonna
a
have to
long
expect.
time.
Just
And that's
the man
saying
cannot
something
control
here on
himself.
this channel. You've probably seen
Okay,
this one making its way
it
around the
says
internet a
here
little bit.
grew
But
up
as I
in
said in my
Portland.
last video, I was doing all these
And
live
yep,
tours and all
okay,
sorts
that's
of other
correct.
stuff. I didn't have a chance to cover this one yet. And Donut never covers the
No, I
videos
get.
where cops do
I
things
was
wrong.
more
Listen here,
tolerant of
you
it just
Twitter
because I'm
mothers,
just so used
because
to
I have
the
over
lore of it.
1,000 videos
It's
on
like
this channel, and there's a
I think
lot
like
where I say, yo,
bring
that
him
cop
on to head
fucked
your
up.
project.
This is
That's
one of
just
them.
what you're
The
gonna have to
traffic
expect.
light
Because
does
the man
better
cannot control
policing than the cop in this video.
okay,
A hornet's nest has
it
more
says here
restraint
he
than
grew
this
up
cop.
in
And if I
Portland.
sound a little annoyed, this is the
And
exact
yep, okay,
situation
that's
that gives
correct.
every single cop a bad name. It gives every
Grew up
single
in Portland.
ACAB person ammunition. You know what's not crazy though? That's right. My
And
sponsor
yep.
for this video, Raycon Earbuds. This video is sponsored by Raycon Earbuds. Black Friday and Cyber Monday are coming up. That means you can get some amazing deals on some of your
it says here
favorite
he grew up
things
in
like
Portland.
Raycon Earbuds. A
And
couple of my
yep,
favorite
okay,
things
that's
about Raycon
correct.
Earbuds are the 32-hour
You were
battery
a
life and a new quick
for League
charge
of Legends
function
for
that
a
gives
Chinese
you
game.
90
You
minutes
lived in
of
China for
playtime
time,
with
is that
only a
true?
10-minute charge and multi-device connectivity so you can connect to two at once. I
I
fly
was
a
a
lot.
coach for a
And you know what I
Chinese
hate?
team.
Screaming
My
baby.
team
That's
did
why
have
the noise
Chinese players on
cancellation
it. I
comes
was a
in
coach for
handy.
Digital
Raycon earbuds start at
TV,
half the price
which
of the
within
other
later
guys.
did
So it's already an
promoted
incredible deal.
back
Even
when the
before their Black
ULCS,
Friday and
because,
Cyber Monday
League of
sale where you're going to
Legends
see up to
competitive circuit
30% off their products.
separated
Whether I'm
into
traveling
5
or working
kind of
out,
big
Raycon's
major
the
regions, and
perfect.
Europe happened to be
Resistant
one of
air
them,
won't
and they used to have
contaminate your ears.
promotion
Click the link in the
relegation.
description
And
box below or go
I
to
helped
buyraycon.com/operate
one of
to
the
get up to
teams that would then
30%
become
off
Splice, which
site-wide.
they then
Again,
later
that's
rebranded to Mad Lions. But
buyraycon.com/operate.
before that, Dignitas actually
Alright,
owned
let's get
North
into the
American
story. Oklahoma
LCS squad
City,
and a
Oklahoma,
European,
October 27th.
I guess like
2024,
challenger
11/18/99.
squad.
So here's
And
the
I
setup
worked
for
with
this
players
story.
like
An elderly
Wonder
man is
and
driving down the road and he
Kabe.
gets into a little fender bender. When the officer
So
shows up
if
and talks
anyone's
to
familiar
both
with
parties, he
Legends, I
starts
coached
issuing
that team with
citations,
Raz.
which is normal procedure. There's an accident, someone calls it, tickets are normally given out.
The
Coach
way
that
that your
team with,
vehicle is
Raz.
located, I'll have to write you a ticket for improper U-turn. Whenever you complete a U-turn, whenever you complete a U-turn,
5 kind of big major
you're supposed
regions,
to
and
be
Europe
as
happened to be one
far
of
to
them.
that
And they used to have
corner
promotion
as
relegation.
possible.
And
Okay?
I helped promote one of the teams that would then become Splice, which
Ugh.
they rebranded it promotion relegation. And I helped promote one of the teams that
Are required to go as far
Europe
away
happened to be one of
between. You're not supposed to be between any cars. You're supposed to be against that curb line. Okay?
Now you can see the
one of them,
elderly
and
man
they used
there's
to
a little confused. He's a non-native English speaker, so there's a language barrier factor here. As a former police officer, I know in these situations, it's always good to take a little bit of extra time. You don't want there to be a misunderstanding.
Coach that
That
team
can cause
with,
tensions
Raz.
to rise, which can escalate the situation. Spoiler alert.
understand the words
I think let's do one more.
Yes, spoiler
Okay, so
alert.
did you
That's
live in
exactly
China,
what
though? Was
happens
that-
here. Instead of helping him understand what's going on, the officer keeps pressing him to sign the citation. And that's when things start going sideways.
And with your finger, it's not admission of guilt. You're just signing saying you'll take care of the
Yeah.
citation for a ticket.
I
You're
think
promising
let's
saying
do
that
one
you'll
more.
take care of it at a later date, whether that be in court or if you take care of it outside of court. So I'm writing and issuing you a citation for improper U-turn. Yes, sir.
Citation, please. She hitting me and I got
Okay.
the citation. As the officer keeps pushing for the man
And
to
I
sign
worked
the
with players
citation, you
like
can see that the
Wonder
man starts to
and
get frustrated.
Cade.
He doesn't even seem to understand why he's getting
So
the
if
citation in the
anyone's
first
familiar with
place.
League of
I wish
Legends,
the
I
officer
coached
should
that
take a
team
little
with
bit more
Raz.
time than 1 second
Okay,
to
so
say,
did you
signing
live in
it
China,
doesn't
though?
mean
Was
you did
that-
it.
was
Signing
that
it means
ever
you might have
part
to
of
go in
your
front of
thing?
a
Yeah.
judge and tell the judge you didn't do it. You could have told him probably a couple of other
Okay, so
things
did
other
you
than
live in China,
ignoring
though?
this
Was that-
completely harmless man.
Okay.
But the officer doubles down on being an idiot.
I'm not writing a ticket
okay,
for
so-
hitting you. Okay?
No, see, it me, you see there.
I'm not
You see-
writing a ticket
You see there,
for...
and then, no.
Okay. I don't think
I
that
coached
you're
that team with
understanding
Raz.
what I'm saying.
Did you live in China, though?
I told you.
If anyone's familiar with League of Legends, I coached that team with Raz.
So did you live in China, though? Was that ever part of your thing? Yeah. That is pretty interesting.
Here we see
Ever
more
part of
evidence
your
of
thing? Yeah.
confusion about what the
That is
officer
pretty
is saying.
interesting.
And how does the officer respond? He just
I've
pushes
lived
ahead,
basically everywhere. I
repeating the
kinda
same
left,
explanation that clearly
the
isn't
States
making
for-
sense to the man. And next
Did you
we see
live
the
in
man
China, though?
desperately
Was that-
trying to
was that
explain to the
ever part
officer
of
he
your thing?
doesn't know
Yeah.
what happened, he just wants to know what's going on. And next we see the man desperately trying to explain to the officer what happened and to just understand
pretty
what is
interesting.
going on.
Whenever you make a U-turn...
I didn't make any sense.
sorry.
basically
Let me clarify, okay? Whenever you enter a little intersection thing like that, you are not allowed to
basically
go
everywhere. I
side by
kinda
side
left.
next to a car. Okay? You have to go behind vehicles.
Hey, you are the police.
Yes.
So you know what?
Okay.
How many times?
We are done, sir. No, we're done arguing about this, okay? We are not one. We are not arguing about this, okay?
I want to show you.
We argue in court. We argue in court.
Take the phone. And
We argue in court.
no,
We don't argue on the side of the road. We argue in court.
Here's where the interaction takes a serious turn. The elderly man refuses to sign the ticket, and the officer immediately responds with threats of arrest. And that's completely normal in some states where if you don't sign the ticket, they can take you to jail. All I'm saying is I wish the officer would have taken a little bit more
Anyone's familiar
time
with
trying
League
to
of Legends, I
understand each
coached
other.
that team
We
with
don't argue on
Raz.
the side of the road. We
So
argue
did you
in
live
court.
in China, though?
Yes,
Was
that's
that
how it works.
ever
Because
part
if
of your
not,
thing? Yeah.
if you don't sign this,
I've
you
lived
go to jail.
basically everywhere. I kind of
Okay?
left
I don't want to take
the
the
States
jail.
for about 10 years,
You
and I
ready to go to
only
jail?
moved back
Ridiculous.
for the position at G4.
Okay,
So
that
I
involves
left in like
impounding your
the
car
early
too.
2013
Okay.
and
Oklahoma, where this
2015
takes
kind of around
place,
that
is one
area,
of those
and then
states where, yes, if you
would
don't
kind of
sign
come
the
back and
ticket,
end
the officer
periodically
arrests.
for
But considering the
business
man's
things. I lived
age,
in
language
Australia,
barrier, and
and
the
then moved
minor
to
nature
China,
of the
and then moved to
citation,
Germany,
this could have
and
been
then I came back
handled
to
a
LA.
little bit better. Something as
Gotcha.
simple as getting a family member on the phone,
I came
maybe
back
to
to LA.
translate, or at least hearing the man out a little bit more. Instead of considering these factors, the officer escalates more.
Fundamentally, don't respect the elder.
You got a visa, so your tax expired. So you're good to get out of here. There's a report. I'll get to you guys in a second. Wait there. So,
Oh, look at that. More disrespecting the elderly. And I know this situation is frustrating. I totally agree.
business
But if you
things. I
don't have
lived
the
in
capacity
Australia,
to
and
act
I moved to
decent in a
China,
situation
and then I
like
moved to
this,
Germany,
be a
and then came back to
fucking cop.
LA.
On the other hand, that old
Gotcha.
man could be
Yeah,
very,
you
very
are pretty
dangerous.
widely
What if he
traveled.
deserved everything
But
that's about to
name
happen to
Frostgren,
him?
you chose that because it's Icelandic. That is the only explanation I found anywhere for the choice
The
of
elderly
name.
man's wife tries to explain to the officer what
my
happened.
partner
He
who I
gets
was
some
seeing-
kind of explanation, but the officer keeps escalating.
Frostgren, you chose that because it's Icelandic. That is the only explanation I found anywhere for your choice of name.
one thing to go with
Okay.
that.
I found anywhere for your
you stay here waiting for go to the
choice.
Okay, it doesn't matter about a U-turn or what. That lane,
And I
you can't. I understand that, but
That
you're
is
not.
the only
You see where
explanation
that
I
car's
found
at?
anywhere for
Whenever
your
you enter that
your
area,
choice
that's
of
what
name.
you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to leave any space at all. You're not supposed to leave any space at all.
You see that two car.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
I am the
The
top
way
car.
where
I'm
your
the top
vehicle
car.
was
That is the
located.
only explanation I
Your
found
vehicle is not
anywhere
like
for
that.
your choice
No.
of name.
At this point, the old man is clearly fed up and decides to push back. At one point, he even taps the officer on the chest and tells him to shut up.
Your vehicle is not like that.
Sit up.
No.
As you'd expect, the tap didn't go very well. You know, in police training, even a light touch can be, assault on an officer or something like that. I guess it could be viewed as a threat by some people, but his actions aren't really threatening at all, given his size and age. Just like I wouldn't pull my service weapon out if I saw a wasp flying at someone. If it were me, for one, it would have escalated to that. If it did somehow escalate to that, I feel like I'd be like, hey, don't do that, sir.
Don't touch me!
Icelandic. understand
The officer takes
that is
this
the
as a
only...
serious threat and acts immediately. Let's see how he handles it.
The reason is not like that. No.
Loosen up. Don't crowd.
Yeah, I'm gonna call an ambulance. One call after rolling fired at the supervisor.
The officer decides to take the elderly man down. And this is where it absolutely 100% turns into excessive force. Without a doubt. As bad as that was to watch from the body camera footage, let's take a look at a security camera that was nearby.
No.
Loosen up. Don't crowd.
Is the only explanation I found anywhere for your choice of name.
My partner, who I was seeing at the time when I was just trying to figure out the
Yeah, I'm
name,
gonna call an ambulance.
had a background in economics, and if you know about Iceland's economic
I've seen a lot of
view.
f***ed up stuff on the internet. I could barely just watch that one with just how terrible it was. You don't bounce an old dude off the ground for poking you in the chest. That was a vicious, disgusting abuse of power. Let's rewind. What caused all of this? Yes, a tap on the officer's chest.
You
The man
know
is down,
about
injured,
Iceland's
and the officer
economic
calls for backup.
field.
But it's not over
They're one
yet.
of the
The man
only
was
countries
left
to
with a
declare
fractured
bankruptcy.
neck, a brain bleed, and multiple cuts. This wasn't just a rough takedown, it left him hospitalized fighting for his life. I did read that he has woken up, but is very confused as to why he's in the hospital and not feeling very well. After an incident like this, the Oklahoma City Police Department has already said that the officer is on leave. Personally, I think they should take his badge and he should be facing multiple charges. Seeing incidents like this make me so sick, I'm more than happy to call them out. If you have thoughts about this incident, leave them in the comments below. Could
And
that
then
light
kind of
tap
rebuild and
that
recover.
killed that
And so
officer?
for
Was that
a
just
brief period
vicious
of time,
old
we were
man
actually
looking
thinking
for
about
trouble
moving to
who
Iceland.
nearly
And so we
hurt,
were
maimed,
taking
or killed
Icelandic,
the officer?
and I
Just leave
happened
me
to
some
be
comments below
studying
what you
the
think
animals
about
at the
this
time that I
incident. Go to
picked it.
pepperbox.tv
And
to check
Frosty
out the
means
uncensored
the
version
frog.
or to see
If
some
you just
cool
say
videos by all my
Frosty,
friends.
frog
Go to
in Icelandic.
donutoperator.com to get some super
Okay.
sweet merch or follow me on
Yeah,
every
no,
other
that-
social media platform. This is all I have for you
Frog
fine
in
people today. As always, please have a fantastic day.
Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay, and this isn't wiki. This is another thing someone was telling me. So, a friend shared with me an old Reddit post of yours, and you were trying to share this story. You said the worst pain I ever had was when you had a gastrointestinal virus when you were in China. What was going on with that? You said in the story that you got so sick you passed out in the cab, and then you had to get help from, of course, the Chinese medical system. What happened there?
Care for those children? I'm going to assume the answer is yes. Would you love those children? Again, I'm going to assume the answer is yes. Would you protect those children? Again, for the third time, I'm going to assume
I don't know how long
the
you want
answer
on
is
this
yes.
story.
Sorry if I have a little bit too much faith
I remember
in whoever's
what
watching this
I
video
ate,
right now. Maybe
but I
you're a
remember
psychopath,
having
maybe not,
extreme
but
pain that
I need
started
you all to
kind of
understand that
early
if
in
you
the
said
evening,
yes
and then it got
to
just
all of these
progressively
questions,
worse. I can
need
only
you to
equate it
realize that while you might be considered a good
extreme
parent, there are
period
others
cramps,
out
or
there
like when
who
you've
would
had
not do
really
these
bad
things.
food
And there are
poisoning.
evil
But I
people
wasn't
who I
able to
believe
get
shouldn't
any
be
food out from
participating
any
in
orifice.
the
So I'm just
demonstration
sitting there in that like
helps
twisting,
reproduce the
knotting pain,
population.
and it's progressively ramping up. And I was like,
give you
I
a
must be
type of
dying. I
example
must be
that would
allergic to
piss you
something.
off.
I don't know what's
Susan
happening.
Smith,
So we
who
went
had
to a
two
Shanghainese
children and ended
hospital,
up
not like
killing them both
a
and
Western
then, for
hospital.
some
You know, like
odd
this was
reason, while
very
people are
traditional.
scrambling to figure out
And
what
thankfully, I
happened,
just like dead bodies in the corridors. You know what I mean? Like you're carrying around your urine and your blood samples. Super efficient, very inexpensive, but you. It's in the corridors. You know what I mean? Like you're carrying around your urine and your blood samples. Super efficient, very inexpensive.
And yes, she's been in jail all this time because I believe this happened back when I was nothing more than a sperm in my father's testicles.
You're carrying around your urine and your blood samples.
Two sons in Union County 30 years ago was denied
Western
parole
hospital, you
in
know,
a
like
hearing in Columbia.
This was
When the news media was granted access inside that parole board
this was very traditional. And think
and the reaction. First, Taylor Foreman shows us what Susan Smith and the children's father had to say.
and thankfully I
Convicted murderer Susan Smith began her statement to the
thankfully,
board crying, stating she loved her sons, Michael and Alex. Her ex-husband, David Smith, also crying, pleaded with the board, begging that they keep the woman responsible for killing his two sons behind bars. In an emotional
Oh, this is a way I could figure it out. I could just watch until Pete moves his mouth.
ending his life, consumed by grief over the deaths of his sons, killed by their mother.
She may
wasn't a tragic mistake. Wasn't something that she didn't mean to do.
David Smith, ex-husband of Susan Smith, stood by her side in 1994 while she lied to everyone she knew, including him. He said 30 years in prison for killing his sons is not nearly long enough. He says the emotional damage she caused him, family and friends, the community, and those around the country will never be forgotten.
Ultimately, to me,
We went to...
that's only 15 years per child. Her own children. It's just not enough.
David Smith says he believes Susan is still the person she was 30 years ago and says she has never expressed any remorse. Susan told the board she knows what she did was horrible.
And I don't give anything if I can go back and change it. And I love Michael and Alex with all my heart.
What's happening?
The board asked Smith about wasting the community's resources while authorities tirelessly searched for her two boys and a black man who she accused of taking them.
I'm sorry that I've
We went to a Shanghainese hospital, not like a Western hospital. You know, like this was very traditional. And thankfully I had like dead bodies in the corridors. You know what I mean? Like you can't go around your urine and your blood sample.
The committee asking members to not fall for Smith's lies, as many people did 30 years ago,
And thankfully
and asking them to not grant her parole.
I know she wants a chance to be free after all the serving.
You know, like dead bodies in the corridors. You know what I mean? Like you can't go around your urine.
Punishment has not been achieved yet, and so I would ask you to deny parole.
So, to help give this family some peace.
Around your urine and your blood sample.
Stay behind bars and stay in prison for the rest of her life.
She should not be released now. His hopes and dreams were dashed. I hope you dash hers today and every 2 years hereafter.
This was very traditional. And thankfully I you know, like dead bodies in the corridors. You know what I mean? Like you can't go around your urine and your blood samples. Super efficient, very inexpensive, but you do have to get used to some things culturally. But I thankfully had some friends who
remain behind bars at the least correctional in Greenwood.
And as this has gone on, this fool recently has tried to get out of jail and has tried to go through the legal means of saying, well, I'm changed. Oh, I regret these things happening. Oh, I am so ashamed. While not fully taking accountability for any
hospital,
of it.
you know, like this was very traditional. And thankfully I had you know, like dead bodies in the corridors. You know what I mean? Like you can't go around your urine and your blood samples. Super efficient, very inexpensive, but you do have to get used to some things culturally. But I thankfully had some friends who spoke Mandarin and were able to help me navigate some stuff. We were there for like 7 hours, and then they basically ran all these tests on me, and they're like, the only thing we can do for you right now is pain management. Like your entire intestines are inflamed. You're just gonna have to like try to like suffer through it. And so it kind of calmed down a bit, and I stupidly left. This was when I was in my early 20s. I left and I was starving, and so I was like, I will eat something like basic. And so my friends fed me, and I will take responsibility too, and I ate it. I ate a bagel. If you know anything about bagels, they're actually really hard to digest. So this is probably the worst thing that I could have eaten at this point. And not like an hour later, I'm back in extreme pain. My friends don't know what to do. They drive me back to the hospital, but at this point, it's like rush to the hospital. But
you wanted to try to get out by using the mental health excuse, which mental health is a disaster.
But at this point, it's like rush hour in Shanghai in the morning, and we're in this Chinese cab. I feel so bad for the Chinese cab driver. Just like sitting in the stairs, so traffic, see people like walking by slowly, and I am losing my absolute shit in the back of this. I am just like flailing around, trying to find the right posture to make this comfortable. I end up vomiting all over myself, and then passing out from the pain in my own vomit. That was
I don't mean that disrespectfully.
vomit.
People have responded by saying, if
that
we come back every 2 years to make
in
sure
my
you
own
stay in
vomit.
jail, we're gonna do that. That's dedication to the fucking cause. And if I could help in any way, I would, and I would always do it.
That
that was an exciting story. Oh my gosh, I get sick like in a foreign country, right? And there's always language barrier and everything else. And then you're in like some guy's cab, and then you go unconscious.
I just
I was like,
I just
was like,
however, was just like,
just to end up killing your kids, you go sit right next to her, and you can all sit by the prison campfire and sing your campfire songs and talk about how you're
I just
all
was like, however, was just like, these fucking foreigners, and then my buddy's like next to him, like, I don't know, good weather today.
Each and every one of you with just 4 fingers.
You did eventually.
To the channel. I will see you all in the next one. Mwah. Goodbye.
The video
And
game
then
industry
there's always
certainly
language
is
barrier and
in a
everything
place
else.
right now.
And then you're in
It
like some
seems
guy's
every
cab,
single
and then you go unconscious.
more projects are being greenlit.
I just around
was
here,
like,
however, was just like,
information that just sound like
foreigners,
it's going
and then
to
my
be
buddy's like
years
next to him,
and
like,
years before
I don't
we
know,
see even the slightest
good
of
weather
changes
today.
in product quality. And now CD Projekt Red Senior
You did eventually though recover. Did you have to stay in hospital for the recovery, or were you able to like go back to your friend's place, your own place, recover?
They basically put me on like an IV drip as soon as I got to the hospital, and again did pain management, tried to rehydrate my system from everything that I lost. I was there for a couple of hours, and then they sent me home. I just slept, and the only thing I could eat for like weeks was it's called congee. It's basically
Fuck.
As long as CD Projekt Red can kind of rein themselves in a little bit, that they do not take the real world too seriously and inject these games filled to the brim with identity politics. And while I want to have a certain level of faith in them, I also really can't have any faith in any company anymore. The only developer that I will blindly trust at this point in time is From Software, because they have given us so many great experiences back to back to back. But now,
they basically put me on like an IV drip as soon as I got to the hospital, and again did pain management, tried to rehydrate my system from everything that I lost. I was there for a couple of hours, and then they sent me home. I just slept, and the only thing I could eat for like weeks was it's called congee. It's basically rice pudding. It's like the most bland kind of nothing. It's kind of like applesauce but without a flavor.
content you are creating without us
And
gamers,
but
you
they
would not
that
have a
here
job.
you are,
And these
Reyes,
people
right?
need to
That's
go
tough. I have a gastrointestinal
to
thing, so
not be a PR nightmare. How to respect your player bases, because it seems that every single company right now is going through these major issues, and an ex-user, Raven Rainfall, shared her concern that The Witcher 4 will be infected, saying, "I'm not excited over it, and The Witcher series is one of my favorite game series. CDPR is too deep into DEI, ESG bullshit," and this is very true. We had only heard a couple of weeks ago that the CD Projekt Red CEO claimed the company hires based on merit, despite the company's website claiming it embraces equitable practices and even having scholarship programs that exclude men. This is front and center on their website. It doesn't take a lot of effort to find, but the CEO can say whatever the hell he wants, but we can see the facts clear as day, and that is that yes, they do embrace equitable practices, and they have scholarships that exclude certain types of people. So we do already know that CDPR is very deep into chasing the ESG dollars and following DEI initiatives when it comes to their hiring.
That's tough. I have
the content that they're creating,
applesauce,
and
but without a
instead of
flavor.
being respectful or simply not responding at all,
They
Max
basically put me on like an IV drip as soon as I got to the hospital, and again did
clown emoji.
for like weeks was it's called congee. It's basically rice pudding. It's like the most bland kind of nothing. It's kind of like applesauce but without a flavor.
And more than that, a fan of the Witcher series, and you're a senior experience designer, are you sexist too, telling a woman to shut up and calling her a clown? I mean, it is true. These individuals, these radical leftists at companies like Max right here, they constantly say, "Oh, we want to be inclusive. We want everyone's voices to matter. We want to give as many jobs to women or people of color as possible." But if you are a person of color or a woman that they disagree with, they will tell you to shut up. They will call you a clown. They will constantly belittle and insult you. We see it happen time and time again. And of course, his response is immediate allegations, along with misinterpreting? I'd assume that's what he meant. Just wow. How else is anybody supposed to take this? It's you with a hand over your mouth, and then of course with a clown emoji. He's just trying to backtrack because he realizes, oh yeah, people are gonna be talking about this. Chaotic Nerd responded with, I mean, they are allegations at this point. It's literally the emojis that track because he realizes, oh, supposed to take this. It's you with a hand. Me. Misinterpreting? I'd assume that's what he meant. Just wow. How else is anybody supposed to take this? It's you with a hand over your mouth, and then of course with a clown emoji. He's just trying to backtrack because he realizes, oh yeah, people are gonna be talking about this. Chaotic Nerd responded with, I mean, they are allegations at this point. It's literally the emojis that he typed. He decided, oh, I'm gonna type these, but I'm also going to press enter. Sometimes you need to step back from social media and step away from the monitor or your phone and take a
Is it
break.
like
applesauce, but without a
Otherwise you
flavor?
end up making yourself look
And
like a
but today,
disrespectful
here you are, right,
online.
Esri.
Chaotic Nerd
That
also
is
said from
that's
your
tough. I have
perspective
I
and
have
the
a
companies, you should have
gastrointestinal
just
thing,
kept
so
quiet.
I
He
can
said, I'm
relate
sorry,
very
I'm not going
easy,
to
right?
engage in this
And
conversation
it's like
further. No matter what I say, it will be misinterpreted to
personal
prove
thing, so
whatever
I
point
can
you'd
relate
like to prove,
very
assuming
easy,
that
right?
everyone should
And it's
immediately
like
know one's gender on the web and make an attack
I just feel like
based on
anyone who
that
has to deal
is
with, like,
simply wrong. And his
personal
comments
thing,
are
so I
only
can
the
relate.
latest in a string of debacles indicating that Rainfall's concerns are valid. Infamously, CD Projekt Red CEO
Very
attempted
easy, right?
to humiliate
And it's
Indini,
like
but ended up revealing he's nothing more than a liar. In a video upload, Indini alleged that an inside source told him that CD Projekt Red is in absolute chaos right now based on who is actually still working there that used to work on the previous games, and he added
you are,
apparently
right,
lots
Esri.
of senior
That
talent
that
has
is
already
that's
left
tough.
CD
I have
Projekt Red.
I have a
For example, the
gastrointestinal
director
thing,
of
so
the
I can
has
relate.
I just think like anyone who has to deal with like Crohn's disease or anything, I'm like that must be the worst. That just sounds like I really feel for that.
That's tough stuff.
Kingdom Come Deliverance
That
said
just
that they
sounds
have
like
actually been poaching
I-
talent from CD Projekt Red
Yeah.
like crazy these past few years, and I
Hmm.
certainly would believe it. I do think that in every company, even if they are generally, we'll just say woke for
So I
a
can
civil
relate
descriptor,
very
there are always going to be
very easy.
people that work at those companies who are genuinely passionate, who do just want to make amazing games and want to ultimately
Very easy,
further
right?
their career, and they see a name like CD Projekt Red hiring that they can go and work at, and they say it is worth the
The
fuss, it is worth the
gastrointestinal thing, so
trouble.
I can
might
relate
go through,
very
because
easy,
imagine
right?
having CD
And
PR
it's
on
like
my resume, and yes, CD Projekt Red, I'm sure, is still very capable of making amazing games, but they need
And
to put
it's
the
like
activists to the side, and they need to focus on hiring people who can make great content. It's like with Assassin's Creed Shadows. We had just heard the Assassin's Creed franchise lead admit that they hired primarily juniors to make Assassin's Creed Shadows, and now they don't know what the hell they're going to do because it seems like a clusterfuck. That they made a game that is not good,
Like
that is in a
applesauce, but
state
without
of
a flavor.
disaster, and even the people who have created
personal
it
thing, so
do not
I
like
can
it.
relate
That is not
very
good
easy, right?
news. And
And
while
it's like
CD Projekt
I just think like
Red,
anyone who has
of
to deal with like
course,
Crohn's
redeemed
disease or anything, I'm like
themselves
that
with
must be the
Cyberpunk
worst. That just
2077. Look at
sounds
the state of
like
disaster
I
that was in a
Yeah.
release. Obviously,
really
put
feel
your
for that.
faith into companies
That's tough stuff.
as much or as little as you want, but always be cautiously optimistic if you are excited, and
Sounds like,
always stay
Yeah.
skeptical. And of course, in response to this post on X, Michael responded with, seems we live in
really
times where anyone can record complete nonsense and make a story out of it. CD Projekt
that.
Red talent
That's
leaving.
tough.
We have the lowest rotation of people in recent years, DEI-driven recruitment. We hire based on merit and talent
Like,
alone, but of course
I
we know
really
that
feel
that
for
is
that.
a straight and
That's
utter
tough stuff.
lie.
Yeah,
As
so
I said, because the
How was that
website
when you lived in
directly
China? Did
claims it
you have
embraces
to learn the
equitable
language? Because you
practices,
worked in
and we do
the
also
Asian
know
gaming
that they
scene,
have
so I'm sure that
scholarship
must have been
programs that exclude men. So he
something
can
that
say
was
whatever
encouraged.
he wants. He can
Yeah,
try to
they,
damage control in any way he wants, but we can see
Something
the
that was
truth clear
encouraged.
as day. Now, of course, I'm sure this isn't going to be the last time we see a senior experienced designer or developer
yeah, they
or
had us learn
franchise
some
lead
Mandarin.
come
We
out
were a
and
team of
mock
about
us, because this is happening a lot now, and I think I'm kind of the norm within the entertainment space. And you think that they would want to try to quell our words and tell you, hey, listen, we totally understand it, but just wait until you see some gameplay and you get some more information. We think you're going to be very excited. That would have quelled the worries of customers, but instead they decide to belittle
You're
us
better than
and
me.
mock us
Mandarin is tough.
constantly
I took
over our
Mandarin in
concerns,
high
which
school,
isn't
and
going
then
to
when
sit
I
well
was
with gamers. So I'll be
undergraduate in
keeping
college,
my eye on the
I barely
situation
remember
to
any
see
of
if
it.
anyone
The
else makes a
learning the
statement or
language itself
anybody at
was
CD
kind of
Projekt Red
doable, but then
decides
you
to
have to like
back
build.
this individual's stance. But for now, that's all that I really have to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give
Something
it a
that was
dislike.
encouraged.
I appreciate
Yeah,
your
they
support.
had us learn some Mandarin. We were a team of about 7. I'll actually count rusty-ish holes. Oh yeah, it was right, 7. There's 7 of us plus 2 producers. We were all American except for Matthew Fish Stewart, who was Singaporean, and then Rinto Rao,
Excuse me.
who is Canadian. Otherwise, everyone was American. They had brought us over. We'd previously been in Australia, and then Kim we were. I forget because I met someone who was Taiwanese. So the only one who could really speak Mandarin, or the only 2 who could speak Mandarin, were Fish, Matthew, and Clement. Clement being Taiwanese, and then Matthew, living in Singapore, had like a very strange accent, and so they gave us Mandarin classes. But I wouldn't say that my Mandarin, I can get around and like ask for very basic things, order food, for like a cab driver, like, oh, I live here, please don't drive me in circles around the meter. But I wouldn't be able to have like a business conversation or anything like that.
You're better than me. Mandarin is tough. I took Mandarin in high school, and then when I was undergraduate in college, I barely remember any of it. Learning the language itself was kind of doable, but then you have to like build. You get to learn how to read the characters, and the cultural sense is so different. It really is quite a different. Difficult. I just did. I had. Different. Quite a different. Quite difficult. It really is quite a different. Quite difficult. I just. Quite difficult.
Rather than anything resembling actual journalism. At this point, Kotaku doesn't even bother pretending to be a credible source of gaming news. They've spiraled into a parody of their former mediocrity, a hollow, desperate shell, pandering to
cultural sense is so different. It really is quite a different. Quite difficult. I just did. I had to pick. I was like, I have to pick a language, and it seemed like the most.
Like I want to suffer.
Pick a language, and it seemed like the
Like,
instead, it turned into a bizarre
like the
hit piece attacking American traditions and rejecting family values. You couldn't make this stuff up. Their
like I want
antics
to
are so
suffer.
unhinged and over the top, they verge on complete farce. What's even more telling is that the author didn't even have the courage to attach their name
cultural
to
sense is so different.
If they're not
It's
proud
really is
enough to
quite a
stand
different.
behind their
Quite
own
difficult.
writing, well,
I
that
just did.
speaks
I had to pick.
volumes
I
of
was like, you have to
quality
pick a
and
language, and it seemed like the most.
like I want to suffer.
I didn't know. I just thought it was the most interesting one on the list. It's like, oh, I could learn foreign French or German. Who would want to do that? Okay, so let's so how did okay, so let's
You've got all the professionalism of a teenage ranting on Tumblr, convinced that every plan is
so how did you
and worthy of a standing ovation at the Nobel Prize ceremony. From hiring emotionally volatile activists with the self-awareness of a reality TV contestant after
who would want to
eating a
do
pop
that?
tart, to pumping out lazy clickbait
Okay, so let's
masquerading as journalism.
so how did you you're close to my age, you're a little younger than me, so I knew you became a pro and like
Rastafarians running
so I knew you
have once again shown their disdain for the very audience that keeps them relevant.
So I knew you became.
Posture as though they're somehow intellectually and morally superior to the rest of us, but this time they've outdone themselves.
So I knew you became a.
As to take aim at Thanksgiving. Speaking of Thanksgiving, I want to take a moment to
You're
express
close to
my
my age. You're a little younger than
gratitude to all
me.
of you.
So I knew you became a pro. You became pro in like 2014. So that
To hear
puts
me ramble about gaming and gaming culture, it really makes it all very worthwhile.
to my age. You're a little younger than me. So I knew you became a pro. You became pro in like 2014. So that puts you in your early 20s. How did you get into being a professional esports player? What was the path from normal person you're at college to hey, you know, I'm now national with League of Legends?
Oh, fuck.
I don't know why my Wikipedia says pro.
Ugh.
Hilariously, like, so I only played at the semi-pro level. I don't know why.
The fuck?
Which to hey, you know, I'm now national with League of Legends.
Xbox games functioning as the perfect gift for yourself or a loved one. Don't miss out. Check out the
So I only
deals
played at the
right
semi-pro
now.
level.
Stock up on
I don't know why my
games you
Wikipedia says
love.
pro.
So, yes,
I
Thanksgiving, Kotaku
hilariously.
is taking aim at Thanksgiving because apparently the simple act of giving thanks, spending quality time with your family and enjoying a holiday is just too problematic for Kotaku to stop. Bravo! Truly another feather in their cap of absurdity. With that said, let's take a look at this abhorrent article. The nasty publication, which seems to relish spitting in the face of tradition, smugly published a piece titled "Get Through Insufferable Family Time This Thanksgiving with These Mobile Games." This is a hilariously unhinged title for an article that should instantly raise more flags than a Communist Party Congress in Beijing. It is clear that whoever penned this ugly piece has some serious unresolved issues to
Daisy
project.
Nubbin,
Calling family time insufferable. Really? Right out of the gate, Kotaku sets the tone with a level of cynicism that makes it sound like the Thanksgiving is some sort of punishment rather than a time to connect with loved ones. It's not just dismissive, it's downright bitter, twisted, in fact. Labeling family gatherings, those rare, meaningful opportunities to connect with loved ones, as insufferable isn't edgy, clever, or remotely insightful.
Get
It's just another sad
into
example
being a
of how
professional
this
esports
set
player. What was the
imported
path from
weirdos at Kotaku
normal
have to
person
treat
you're at
relationships
college
and
to
traditions as
hey,
nothing
you know,
more
I'm
than
now national
inconvenient
with League of
chores.
Legends?
The sheer
So I
lack
only
of
played at the
respect for
semi-pro
the people
level.
who made their
I don't know
lives
why my
possible is
Wikipedia
as
says pro.
revolting as it is predictable.
Hilariously,
Whether
like,
it's the readers, the
I
broader
probably
community,
just
or now
dodged the
apparently
siren
even their
bullet.
own families,
There's like a
the
whole
folks
meme
at
about this
Kotaku
team
know
that was
it's
like
an
an all-women's
opportunity to
team, and
show
they're
just
like,
how
I'm a
little they
siren
care
that
about
like
anyone
mean to
but
hell on
themselves. These
League of
so-called
Legends
intellectuals seem to
and
think
the
everyone
League of
else
Legends
is just an
subreddit.
obstacle to
I
their
played at a
30% of
semi-professional
superiority.
level. I tried out for a
Frankly,
team that
it's
was
not
called
just disrespectful,
Four Knot.
it's
They would
outright
later on,
pathetic.
they had
For
like
people
players
who
like
live up preaching
Bloodwater
about
and One Bad
empathy,
Broad.
connection, and
If
all
like
of
people
those
like
lofty
really
ideals,
old
they're
school
sure
League
to
of Legends
effectively
fans,
job of
and I tried to be their
embodying
jungler. I was
the
trained by a guy. These are like really old names. Named Brackus, who was like a Fiddlesticks one trick, and this was like back in the days. None of this terminology makes sense.
Fuck.
This was back in the days when you didn't have to be very good, and I was like right on the cusp of being good enough to not be very good, and I just decided I was like, you know, I'm close, but I'm just not going to get there. So I was going to go into commentating and coaching didn't really exist at the time. Like this was so early on, so I just called it like teaching. And what I would do is I would stream and I would have my viewers tell me what champion that they wanted to play. And because I was like the Diamond 1, this was kind of before Masters and Challenger, so we were in like the upper echelons of Elo. And then most of like viewers and most of the players are gonna sit between like silver and gold. So I would give them advice like play the champion that they wanted to see or watch their game footage and kind of like teach them about like laning mechanics or things like this. And so someone was watching my stream. I just basically created like a library, like all these different champions, all these different helos, and this commentary on it. And they said that, hey, you'd probably be pretty good at shoutcasting. And so Casey Nubbin, quit.
Stop going, mm-hmm.
What? And then most of like viewers and most of the players are gonna sit between like silver and gold. So so I would give them advice to like play the champion that they wanted to see, or watch their game footage and kind of like teach them about like laning mechanics or things like this. And so someone was watching my stream, so I just basically created like a library of like all these different champions, all these different ELOs, and this.
Why was it needed there, Pete? I could get rid of it. I don't even have to move the thing over. It's isolated enough.
All these different ELOs, and this commentary on it, and they said that, hey, you'd probably be pretty good at shoutcasting. And so, Tasty Nubbins, what's his name? Which, her gamer name. Tasty Nubbins asked me to join the ESL Pro League, because this was before Riot took over the Challenger series on the Go for LOL, and Go for LOL tournaments at the time. And since I was working in retail at the time, I would do the European time zones to get up really early to not impact my work schedule. I get up really early, I do the Go for LOL tournaments, cast them with like whatever casters, and then we would do it's called the ESL Pro Series, and it basically then later on became the NACL, which is now the Scouting Grounds kind of tournaments, but it was a league, and they just like saw my stream one day, like, hey, you should do this, so I started doing that, and then Riot was planning on taking it over, and so this caster named Zyrene was watching these ESL tournaments because he was getting ready to cast all of these players and kind of figure out who they were, and he saw me casting with a guy named Devin Pyrotechnics Young, and he kind of pulled us aside afterwards. He's like, hey, I think you guys are actually quite decent at this. I think if you guys stick together as a duo, Riot is looking at hiring shoutcasters down the line, and I think you guys have an opportunity. And because of this, Pyro and I, we didn't know each other, we just got randomly selected to cast for this event. We're like, okay, you want to do a what? And to get extra practice in, I was living with a woman named Kelsey Moser, who is now a coach in the LCS. And she was doing coverage for Riot Games for kind of their broadcast, and she picked the Chinese region to cover it. She wanted to do the Chinese region of League of Legends. It's called the LPL, the League of Legends Pro League, and no one was doing any English coverage of it. She's like, hey, why don't you guys do the LPL coverage and practice your casting, and you can help me set up this league. And so we started a kind of bootleg Twitch stream where we would take the Chinese streams and then we would cast over it in the English coverage. And we did that for maybe like a year and a half, 2 years. And then Riot eventually was like, no, you cannot do that, and took it away, but in doing so, it was dropped.
That sounds like Riot. It does sound like Riot. That sounds like Riot. It does
Very
sound
accurate.
This isn't something to Kotaku's reader base on so many different levels, particularly at a time when what is meant to be about bringing families together and showing gratitude and thanks.
But in doing so, it's
Here in
dropped.
the UK, we don't celebrate
That sounds like
Thanksgiving,
Riot.
but Christmas dinner holds the same
It does
Very
sound
accurate.
In my
Yeah.
household, both
But
my
it was a
husband
pretty
and I
good
love
fit.
salt.
I watched some of your broadcasts, interviews. You're pretty good. Look, I have a little bit of experience broadcasting. It's not necessarily, some people either have a talent for it, you kind of fit the energy and the rhythm to it, and other people just don't have it. And you seem to do pretty well. I think it was, for the most part, a pretty good fit. I'm terrible at MOBAs, but I know a lot of people are really into them. So eventually then you are brought over, you're in the LAC, so you have to move over there. And then you did that for a few years, right?
Yeah, I think I did.
For a few years, right?
Someone we care about. For example, my husband recently lost his grandmother, and he would give anything to spend Christmas with her one more time.
Where did you?
Tone deafness is what makes the article not just absurd, but genuinely sinister. To treat fleeting, irreplaceable moments with such disregard
For a few
speaks
years,
volumes
right?
about how out of
Yeah, I think I
touch
did
and
it for 2 years.
careless this mindset truly is.
Where did you?
The sheer privilege and entitlement
You
dripping from his dribble are truly something to behold. To be so painfully out of touch and self-absorbed as to suggest dismissing a family member, someone who may not have been seen in years, over something as trivial as who they might have voted for, isn't just clueless, it's downright disgraceful. That same uncle could very well be a beloved sibling to your parent, someone who brings him immense joy
For
and
a few
comfort
years,
during a
right?
time when family
Yeah, I
bonds
think I
should
did it for
matter
2 years.
most. But no.
Where did you?
Well, according to Kotaku,
So I
it's
know that
apparently far more
before.
virtuous to sulk
So
in a corner,
Comcast
glued
gets you
to
in
your phone
2021.
and
So when
than
did
to
you
acknowledge and
stop
appreciate the people
casting
who actually
professionally
care
full
about
time?
you. Heaven forbid you show a shred of gratitude or emotional maturity.
2009.
It's astonishing and not in a good way that anyone could
One. So
write
when did
this
you stop
nonsense with a
casting
straight face.
professionally full time?
Game journalists really are the worst people, aren't they? Thanksgiving is a time for coming together despite people's differences and not using those differences as an excuse for retreats. The sheer arrogance of suggesting that it's better to stroll for your fun than engage in a meaningful conversation with families.
Basically, I
It's not
stopped
just
for
dismissive,
the
it's a blatant rejection of the entire purpose of that holiday. Let's be perfectly clear. While social media, online gaming, and digital communication have undeniably enhanced our lives, they've also become an all-too-convenient way to avoid the vulnerability and effort required to build meaningful relationships.
Okay. This thing's about 3 hours long. No, it's 2.5 hours long. I've got almost 30 minutes of it. Oh, no, I don't. I have like 17 minutes of it done. Fucking shit. But my eyes are killing me. I got a good start. I'll go faster tomorrow. Happy Thanksgiving. I'll be back in a little bit with a game stream. I gotta like eat something or